Hello guys, welcome back, and this time around I'm going to work on sending email to this agent. And to do that, all we have to do is use JavaScript. Add a button here, use JavaScript to trigger an event. We go straight into the code, open the details of file. This button we commented out, the submit button, we are going to uncomment it, then change the value from submit to button, then the ID to contact agent, and the value to contact agent. And that's all. So all we have to do is just to write an event listener for this contact agent. And how can I write an event listener? Can open a console on the browser here, reload this page first so as to show that button. Okay, once loaded, Ctrl Shift J, open your browser tab, the console, your browser console. I should be Ctrl Shift J. Okay, it's easy. You can use the vanilla JavaScript DOM manipulator document dot query selector. Since it is an ID, we use hash contact agent. You can try it first if it works. Syntax error, invalid unexpected token. Let us check to know what the issue is. Document dot query selector. It says uncaught syntax error, invalid or unexpected token. Okay, I'm going to check that again. This is a document dot query selector. Hash contact dash agent. That's the button itself. Contact that agent becomes a hash. I close that. Okay, I shouldn't have used double. I used double. I think it does. Okay, it does recognize it anyway. I didn't know what I typed before. When we clicked on this, you can see the button shows complete the contents. All I have to do is to add an event listener. Dot add event listener. And what should they add? That is when the button is clicked. We want this to do something. For the now, just what should you do for us? Okay, I can just write a quick function that says console.log agent clicked, and close the entire content. Says it's not a function. Query add event listener is not a function. We have to check what the issue is. Add wd send once more. Okay, can locate our button, click it, and you see it says agent clicked. So all you have to do is you copy this code, go straight to the editor, come to the property. Since it is detail, we use detail.js for our JS file. Save, paste this content, save, then reload our browser and try again to see if it works once we click on that agent. Okay, page reloaded, click on it. Now you observe something. Just take a look at this very well. Look at the side. When you click, it does not respond. Well, the issue here is that this Frappe library could be interfering. We are not too sure, but it could be interfering with our code. Naturally, our code should be embedded in the same file name, just with different extension, detail.html, detail.js. But since we did not see it, to check, verify as well, you can try to view the page source code. Look at the very last end. If you do not see your code just before this script, then something is wrong. To fix that is very easy. Just go straight to your public folder, and so not template, go straight to the public folder. We can create another folder here called www, and inside the www I'm going to create another folder called js notify. New folder, I'll call it javascript, and inside the javascript I'll just drag this detail.js cut. I doubt if it will cut in this editor, but let's see if it works. Paste. Okay, it worked. Can still use our file browser to confirm that. Go into our estate app, into www, no, not www, go into public www.js. Okay, our file is there. So that's good. The next thing to do is require our template estate base.html. Go down, and just before this main.js, add this what I have just added there, Ctrl+X, call it block script, end block. Grab it. Once you have copied, grab save. Go into your detail.html file. After this end block, paste this here and try to use a script tag, script. Then you add it just like you've added for this estate base, using just like estate base slash app, paste. Then slash www slash js slash detail.js, save. We do not need this character set, so delete the character set and save it. The event that will occur is that this script will be copied, then loaded just below this main.js in our detail.html page. I can reload this page and try to view the source code once it loads. I'll close this. Okay, we can view the source code now. Right click, view source codes. If it does not show, we try and clear our browser cache. And just below it, you can see the file appears, detail.js. Okay, test our button, Ctrl+Shift+J to show the terminal. Just click this button, agent button, to see. You can see, wow, we had something showing which should not have shown. Excuse me, I'm going to clear my browser cache. I was doing something before and it recognized an old button. Clear that, reload it once more. I think I wrote some code in the terminal earlier. Okay, come back again, click contact agent, and you see the thing fired, agent clicked. And where is it firing from? From this our public slash www slash js slash detail.html, and we included it into our detail.html file by first going into this estate base, then declaring a block, then going straight into our detail.html and imported this file as JS. Just include it in our HTML page, and that solves the issue if the detail.html does not work directly inside the www folder. Case solved for one. Then what's next is to try to see what we can do with this button. Okay, I'm going to expand this code, expand this detail.html code. I'll give it a full screen, bring this down. Okay, I'm going to collect the event once fired. Then test this once more before we do anything. Console.log new event function. One thing I've realized is that at some point you just always need to clear your browser cache for your JavaScript files to take effect. Okay, our page has loaded. You can always scroll up to check if there is a syntax error in your file. You will see it in this console.log. I'm going to try to click this and I can see it says new event function. Okay, that's fine and our code is working properly. Then what I really want to do is such that once we click on this test agent, it brings a dialog model from our documentation. You have the JavaScript dialog, just this, and I want to pick a dialog from here. I'm going to pick this dialog, frappe.ui.dialog. Before picking the dialog, I want to first obtain this. Although there are different ways to obtain the agent, for security reason, I will not advise trying to pick the agent from the information directly. You can try to store it in memory, but for the now, although I want to be security wise, but for now, let's just grab the agent email from this place directly, from this email form directly, then pass it to our code. How do we grab this agent email from the page? Look at the page source code from detail.html. Look for the agent field, and the email is in this ID email. So it's that simple. We go straight to our browser, say documents dot query selector id email. I don't need an event listener. I just want to get the tag. Okay, we have it as input field. You can see the email here. All we need to do is what? Click dot value to pick the email. Okay, that's all right. We drag this entire content, copy, go straight to our JavaScript code. Here we say let agent email is assigned this. That's all. Next is we try to execute our get our dialog function. Copy that, come back to our code and paste our dialog function inside the code. Okay, might have to indent this. Okay, just paste your code just after this file here. And what do I do? What do I need from the user? Okay, when I first execute this, all I need is the user's name, just username and email, then a box to send the email content. When you load, just try to check if there's a syntax error in your code, you'll find it. To show you here, go down, click on the contact agent. Yeah, the how will I say it? This information is still in memory. Recall, go back to your browser, clear the cache. Once you clear the cache, reload your page. Once the page is done loading, go back, click on the agent field again, and now you see no event is firing. You can try to check why there is no event firing. Just scroll up. Let's look through if we find an error in our code to show in this terminal. Okay. We can't seem to, we did not see any log in the console, but I may have to check my code once more to see the reason why it was not firing or it did not fire. Click E inside this E, it ends here, email value. I have to console agent email. I'm adding this as some kind of breakpoints. Okay, go back, clear your browser cache and retry. Okay, click on this again and our code seems to fire but with an error. You can see the error here, it said uncaught reference error, agent name is not defined. Yeah, I think that fired correctly. So replace with agent email. Always recall, clear your browser cache at every change of the JavaScript file because you may not get what you are looking for. Okay, so our code fire correctly right now. We have name, just this is what we copied from the, what's it called? We copied this directly from this dialog page. We have made no change. But what we actually need from the user is the user full name, email address, just user full name, email address, and the message he wants to send to the email. And at the same time, we might have to include the property information. I have to include the property information. So to do that, I may just have to do something funny here. Scroll through our detail.html source code to see where we wrote the property code. Status property name. Okay, property code, property.name. And here I have to give it an ID. ID is equals to, okay, can reload this page. Okay, this time around it will not be value, it will be dash text content. Okay, that's all we need. Check this once more to be sure it's working. Okay, it's working. Okay, all we need is what? Name, can just say your name, your email, and this one I can say, okay, here should be email. The next thing I can do here is write message. Field type should be small text. Sorry, field type small. Field name should be message, and type should be small text. Save. Clear your browser once more. Reload. Okay, you can scroll to see if there's an issue. Okay, we have not found one relating to our file. And I clicked and I see it here, your name, your email, Message type, recall that this box formatting is based on the doc type field. That's why we have this. And if I click my name, Anthony, phone and my mail test at mail.com, and message is I want to buy this property. Click submit. Once this detail is submitted, an event should fire that says, okay, it picks this, send it to the backend to process an email, and once the email is done processing, you return a message to the user and say, okay, message has been successfully sent. That's all we want. And how do you go about that? We see the information fed in, email, message, and name. It's that simple. Just write an API, go straight to your source code, create a new file in your estate app, call it new file api.py. Once you're in the API, import your Frappe, then record to import, get the email we wrote earlier. Do not mind about this, I will explain what this is later. We use this function earlier. We import into our API. Import send mail. I'm going to paste this send mail here as a reference. Okay, we can write our first API. I'll give it a comment. Contact email agent from property page. Okay, how do we do that? So define contact agent, args. First thing I'm going to do is to print this args, then return true. This is kind of a test. Then go to your documentation and look for frappe.co to use frappe.co. Add this to your JS file. Just where we had this console.log, just in here, do that. Add it here. Give it a comment here and say API call. Then in your API, record to give it a whitelist at, make it whitelist the function frappe.whitelist, else you get permission issue. Frappe.whitelist, save, go back to the JS file. Once all this is done, I want to push this value into this API call as argument. Result values, save, and whatever I get, I want to console.log r, the content of r. Can comment out all this console I have here. Since our code is working, comment this out as well and clear this. Save. Okay, let me explain what I did here. We declared a button, an event, We've kind of found the button, looked for the contact agent button in the HTML file. Here is the agent. The submit button we converted into a button, give it an ID, contact agent. Then we use JavaScript to look for the button. Then add an event, a click event, JavaScript event or browser event to it. Then in the event, we called it event is click. Once there is a click on that button, then we wrote a JavaScript function inside that we execute. And the next thing we do was we grabbed the email from the page and the property code from the page, copied this dialog straight into this code. Then inside the dialog as well, after this content printed, just like what we have here printed, we made an API call. So whatever we picked from the page, we pass it to the API call. Then whatever is returned for the API, we print it. Then in our API call, we have not written any functionality. All we did was try to pick whatever was posted and print it to see what the API sent to us. Sorry, the request post sent to us. So to work with that, you clear your browser once more, clear your browser cache, then reload the page. And let me also give you a clue on this API. It's not just by default, the API method is post, but you scroll up, you can see different kind of things you can do. You have the type post, put, patch, delete, and get. Okay, you have the argument, that is some kind of dictionary object you pass. Then this success will be based on return value. Then if there's an error, you can also work with it here. Then um, this freeze kind of shows some. I think if you try to submit in ERPNExt, when you try to submit salary slip, you see this kind of message that tells you something like processing or computing, something like that. This freeze is once the message is sent. If you use freeze as an option, the screen will be locked. You cannot access the screen until the process is over, the message is sent. And you can just look through all this. Okay, oh, we are back to our page. Okay, did not see any error but that is attached to the details of JS file. I'm going to click here once more, contact this agent. Submit. Okay, now in submit, you can see a message was sent to the backend, and the backend tried to return something very funny. And what did they return? They ended up returning several things from the backend which it should have not returned. But let us see what is going on in our backend. You can check through our terminal. Okay, our terminal actually will return nothing because we need to close this terminal. Since we worked on the Python end of the file, we have to close it, then restart. Think save, restart this before sending that data to the back end. At the same time, okay, I think I printed this. Why not I return the argument as well? How about calling it args rather than arguments, right? I don't even know the one to call, but let me check and see the right one to use. Okay, let me try to look through to see if my browser printed any content. As it is, no content was printed. I returned true, but it seems the thing actually returned the rows in our system rather than returning the print. We have to check to know what the problem is. And here is on page 35, sorry, line 35 of our details of GS file. console.log what was returned. I returned true but got something else. Okay, I might have to return what we have here. Okay, I guess I'm gonna pass that. And sorry, I've been making a terrible mistake. Making a terrible mistake. The reason why we got this message here, rows, is because our API was meant to return rows. Check through the API very well. From detail.js, you see what it called frappe.core.doctype.user.user.getRows. You can see that here. Okay, we don't, this should not be the core point. It should be estate underscore app.api dot what? Contact agents. Okay, I guess I must have been so carried away. I'm gonna try this once more. Test. Okay, initiate this once more. Okay, why this return this is after making that change I should have cleared my terminal as I have stated earlier. Not just this, but clear the browser because the browser still have a cache of the JavaScript contents. Okay, I have to reload this page as well. Okay, scroll up to check if there's an error in your code. Okay, yeah, you see an error was returned to us by the server since we have the Frappe content here. And what have we? The error is in our file, says SAPAV line 13 asks, so we shouldn't have called asks. I said invalid syntax. You can see Frappe can return error to your front page as well as long as you included those files. Okay, no error this time. We can check through and here is the value returned, and what was returned, just exactly what we posted was returned to us. The command itself which we executed, this CMD is the API, the wherever, then check our terminal to see what we have in the terminal. It should have printed, okay, we have it in the terminal as name, email, message, and that's all. So how can we work with this? You import this, bring this send mail. You can just construct a very simple email message. Here's the format for our send mail. And recall that our send mail is enqueued. I think it should be, yeah, is enqueued. So we don't need to queue it again from the API. Okay, the first thing I have to do is retrieve the document. Like I say, doc is assigned so as to send the document format to the agent. Document frappe.getDoc. property. Then what did you retrieve? From the argument we have can call it args.get. Okay, we did not even pass this, the property we retrieved from the JS page. We did not pass the agent email and agent code as well. We have to pass that agent email, agent code. Pass it to your code by, I think here we can say values before even printing that value. Say values dot agent email is assigned agent email, values dot property code is assigned property code. Okay, so once the value is passed, it picks everything at once. Here we can look for the property code from here, and that's all for the property code. So the document could be this document, then the recipient. The title is property inquiry, and inside this message you could include the, what's it called, I'll say MSG is assigned, and have this include this message, then also add, okay, can break it down. Before the message I can add the what's it, the user information. Then break, we write pure HTML inside here, then ask.get email, that's all. Then break once more before adding the message, and that's all for the message. Then attachments, we all know how to write our attachments. So the attachments is assigned a list, then frappe dot attach print, have the first value is a doc, the doc in question, then the doc type, then the file name equals to doc.name. Okay, this is done for the now. Then at the end, you can return message to the user that says, okay, what we did is we got the values from the API, we tried to retrieve the doc, construct a message, constructed a message, then attach the documents. So the agent knows the document in question, then send it as an email. Now we have to return a message to the person who sent this, who is trying to contact the agent to the front end. I'm going to save this, clear my browser, and reload. Okay, we try it again. Hello, e at e.m. Hello, submit, and I got a message back from the server. And why I have this here is because I did not restart my server. Should have restarted my server. That's why I got that message. I'm gonna have it go again. Yeah, I think we got a message, an error message here, and it says from the error log, it says return value.translate escape table property object has no attribute translate. And to check what the issue is here, we might have to, check to see what was retrieved from this property itself first, to know how to. I think the best thing to do is try to print this out first. Try to print to see what we get from a print. If we cannot retrieve anything from here, then we'll have to try to look for another way to obtain it from here. In fact, I'm going to try two formats. The next one is args of cancel the server, start it again. Invalid syntax. The comma should be here. Okay, we got this right. We got this right. So the value will be retrieved, I believe. And I think make access doctor access log Frappe is not an issue. Let's look through this code to see where the issue is coming from. translate attribute property. Object has no attribute translate. I don't know where that error is coming from. I haven't encountered this error before, but we may try to see how we can resolve that. How about if this error is coming from this attachment? Have to review our attach print from the doc type we did earlier. Okay, doc type first before doc.name. That may be the issue. I'm going to grab this entire line, come to our API and replace it. Save, restart our server, try again. Okay, we got no error so far, but we should have gotten some kind of a feedback to the UI, which I did not see. I believe this one came from directly from the JavaScript from the front end. Okay, wow. Since my server is kind of a little bit slow, I can see the query still executing here. API methods, contact agent 200, still executing somehow in the background. Okay, at the end of the day, it returned the message. Here is the message it returns. Said message sent to agents, you'll be responded to as soon as possible. We can't just leave this on the console.log. The user knows not what it is. All we have to do is use a kind of a print message print to tell the user that okay, thank you and take care. I may use this console.log, get back to our detail.js. In this print, before after this print, paste this here, indent it, then tell the user this r.message. And this is fine. Although a message has been sent, but if I check through my message log, it may not be there because on local server, it is very difficult to configure and configure an email sender. Although it's correctly said, but Google API would not allow me. Oh my God. I even have a message here in my email queue. Let me check to see. I don't know where this came from. Okay, it seems this is email. You can see the content. Hello, and the title, this user, recipients, this is the email of the agent's email. And if you check through this, you can see the email content from email and the message itself. If you scroll down, you see the print format sent. Here is the print format. All this gibberish content is a print format. Once it gets lands to the recipient email, all the person will see is the first header message and a PDF file that can be downloaded from the email. And that should be it. We'll test our page once more. After saving the JavaScript files, you follow the rule of thumb, clear your browser cache, and in case I'm not sure I edited my Python, I did not edit it, so I can just reload my page. Okay, page fully loaded. Click on contact agents. So to hello, I'm no test at mail.com. Nice house. Interested. Thank you. How about pushing this message? Then check the email queue once. I think the server is just a little bit tired now. That's why if you look through here, you see some things are processing. At some point, you see a query down here, something like API, estate underscore app dot API dot contact agent. So, but on your live server, it will not be this slow. It will just respond instantly. Then you can use this dialog. Um, you can use this freeze to freeze the screen until the message has been returned before the user can see the response. And here is the response on the screen. It says message sent to agent. You'll be responded to as soon as possible. Thank you. And you can still check our email queue. And here is the last email sent. And who is the sender? You scroll up. You can see the name I just fed in, my email, and the contents. Nice house, interested, thank you. And I need to zoom it. Okay, still clear. This is how you can just kind of add a little functionality to your website front end, right? And it's looking good. You can click on it. Clicking on this agent to see a better view of this. And what else can we do? I won't really go deep into customizing the look and feel of the page, but at least we are able to get, you can click from any of these link and it will take you to that page information. So I think one more thing we need to do is work on the homepage pagination. Uh, I don't know if that is really important, but I might have to try to work on that pagination and this search as well. Working on the search. After the search, no, I think the pagination is more important than this search first. Once we are done with the pagination, we can work on the search. Then go into Frappe pages. A page could be something like the POS. The POS is a page. Then working with graphs, the dashboard content, how to plot a table, all those charts, bar chart and others, using the Frappe tables and some other information. That should be what we will look into next. So thanks for watching anyone. Please do like and subscribe.